Hot Boy's definitely up. Hot Boy's definitely up by like 47 right now. Hot Boy's up 47. It's a Hot Boy summer. Welcome to Two Black Sheep, episode 4. Episode 4. And today we're talking about Nas. Nas, the Lost Tapes 2. Finally, we got another Nas project, and it's interesting that we got Nas back-to-back years. Usually Nas doesn't drop this frequently, excuse me. But we got the Lost Tapes, which is a collection of songs that he's amassed over the last 15 years or so from various projects. And yeah, we got some things to talk about. So I'm Graham. That's Ray. Sheep 1 and Sheep 2. Two Black Sheep. Ray, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna touch on some of these lost tapes or lost tracks, we should say, from Mr. Nasir Jones. And I'm excited, man. I was excited for this project. I know a lot of people were excited for this, especially after him and Kanye dropped Nasir, and it didn't get that well of a it wasn't received that well by the masses, I should say. But yeah, let's jump into it a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that.
Nasir Jones and the Lost Tapes. I will say my very first reaction of playing through this album the very first time. Some of them could have stayed lost. Honestly, some of them didn't need to be found. But after listening to it a second time, he had some cool cuts on here. What was your first initial reaction to this?
My initial reaction was this was better than Nasir.
Interesting.
But at the same time, these are also old songs. So
yes.
He kind of, I don't know, in a sense, like kind of had a leg up because they were Nas records, you know, as opposed to Nas and Kanye getting together trying to create something, and you know, Kanye doing this Kanye thing and tweaking some things, you know, without anybody else knowing before putting it out.
Yeah. Only thing I wish I would have got from this, at least the timestamps on when some of these songs were recorded. I feel like that would have helped a little bit, because of over a span of 15 years, you sound totally different. You go through a lot of different shit. You have different emotions, different sounds. And for it to be a 15-year span, a lot of it sounded pretty cohesive in sound. Not to say like Nas sounds different from like it was written to Nasir, but he has a lot of different content.
Agreed.
From there. So yeah, I mean, we can jump into it. I went through the producers list too. He had some great producers on here. If we're starting from, like, let's say start from track 1, no Bad Energy.
No, let's start from the first record that he dropped, from the
the single. The single.
Yeah, the Jeru of rap. The Al Jeru of rap. The Scat Attack.
Produced by Eddie Cole.
Merry-go.
Right. Only thing he was missing was Eminem on that.
Eminem would have went crazy on that.
He would have went crazy on that with all the little breakdowns in the beat. Yeah. I'm probably like most of everybody that's heard that track. Throw that shit the fuck away. You could have kept it thrown away. You didn't have to find that one. If you found it, you didn't have to show nobody, because that was not it. Not it whatsoever.
That wasn't it.
In my books, like that that was pure trash. Like, I'm sorry. The beat was horrible. Sorry, Mr. Eddie Cole. I'm pretty sure you done better in your life, but that just wasn't a good effort for me from Nas.
I feel like he found his pocket on the record, but I don't want to hear the song.
Definitely doesn't make it good just because you know how to rap to something.
Exactly, and I feel like that's what this song was like I feel like Nas can kind of find his pocket on pretty much anything, and he can kind of like say some fly shit, but that doesn't mean that I want to hear the fly shit that he's talking about on the beat that he chose.
Yeah, man, that reminds me of like when when I was signed and somebody had told me some shit about like how rappers need to find pockets on whatever. And so he decided to send me some random beats that were all really random and wild. And they were the ugliest beats in the world. And I found my pocket on like a couple of them, but I would have never put none of those tracks out because I was like, this shit is garbage. Like just the beat and how I rap to it and everything. I was just like, nah, hard pass. Hard pass. And I feel like Nas should have did that.
Yeah, maybe on that one. I feel like less is more with Nas. So that one just wasn't it.
Definitely wasn't it.
That one
And
wasn't
yeah,
it.
less is a lot more with Nas, and that I feel like that's why the Kanye album didn't didn't
Maybe didn't hit the way.
have yeah, exactly. It had way too much production for Nas.
Yeah, it was a good idea in theory, but as far as the execution with that one, it didn't connect all the way.
I
But
mean, well, speaking of it,
yeah,
Ye is on the album.
yeah, it is on the album,
One of the tracks that didn't make Nasir is on here, which I do like.
and I like that record. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
it was a
That's
lot
a
more
nice record.
dumbed down, and that was "You Mean the World."
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
dumbed down, but stripped down
it was
rather.
stripped
Yeah,
down of the production.
yeah,
Yeah, I did like that. That song was pretty cool. That song was pretty cool.
yeah. I fuck with
Um,
that. I like the first record, the No Bad Energy joint. That one was cool. Swiss Beats on that one.
mm, that was all right. That was all
That
right.
I said it was cool. I didn't say it was
Yeah.
dope. I said it was cool. Now, the other Swiss Beats record, Adult Film
Oh
on
my
this
god,
album, no,
you don't like that?
no,
Oh my god. Okay, I like that song.
no.
That's a total difference. I don't like this Swiss Beats one, but I like Adult Film. That was that's one of my favorites actually on the album.
I feel like the middle of this album is where it gets lost. Where the lost tracks are like, I feel like the middle, like the meat and potatoes, and like the middle section of this album, I feel like there's a couple of songs that could have just remained.
That's interesting. I
Yeah,
feel like the very first 3 songs could have remained lost. No Bad Energy, Vernon Family, and the Giroux of Rap.
yeah. I have the first record, the second record as didn't really make me feel anything. I had them as just okay. I had the Giroux of Rap as no, I didn't like that
Yeah.
one. Lost Freestyle though, I think he did his thing on this one.
I like Lost Freestyle. That was the very first song that I actually liked
Yeah,
going into the album.
Static Selector. Give Nas another two or three of these. I need another two or three of these. But
Yeah, and
he's
sorry for
great.
real. Vernon Family wasn't it. That wasn't it. That's why I
Sometimes,
said I want timestamps. I want to know when these tracks were made.
well, he did an interview with Shaheem Reed on Title yesterday, which I checked out. Um, I was smoking though, so I don't really remember the whole thing to be honest with you. But he did give some backstory to some of the records that he did. Like I think he said like record like either it was Queensbridge Politics or it was Queen's Wolf that he did like about 10 years ago, 2009. She said like 2009, 2010, something like that. Because he mentioned like on one of the records, like what I'm saying, being 36 years old, and now is like
Yes,
I think he's like 45 now, almost or something like
that was on, I believe, Queensbridge Politics,
that. Okay,
which I
so
really like that song.
and I like that one too.
I
That was
really
the
like that
one that
song.
was kind of like the
That was a Nas track to me.
yeah, it was kind of like the tribute to Prodigy as
Yep.
well.
Yeah. So okay. So then that song was probably older, about 10 years old. He was in his Nas bag, his lyrical bag. He was going. Like I fuck with that track. And Pete Rock made it. So that was dope. Definitely like that one. Also, I didn't care for it was all right, but the Tenasia,
Oh,
I
with the
don't like.
Lucy.
I'm not a fan of the hook at all. Like at all.
He
At all.
mentioned okay, so this is what I do remember from the title interview that he did. Um, he mentioned that the name of the girl that he's talking about was actually a different name. He changed the name and he updated the song to kind of make it a little bit more modern. It was an older record that he did, and the name was different. It was something Asia, but it wasn't Tanasia. But I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling this one. I
Yeah, he's gonna
wasn't feeling
say
this one.
like her name was Tanasia. Either she's from Queensbridge or you from. If you're not from Queensbridge, then you from Asia. Like that's trash, bro. That is trash coming from Nas. I don't care if this was recorded 20 years ago or 20 days ago. That bar is trash coming
I
from
feel like
Nas.
sometimes people get on the record with like a RZA joint or like with somebody from Wu Tang, and they gotta like flex their knowledge of like Chinese like kung fu culture,
Yeah,
all of that. Like I feel like they gotta flex like their Wu Tang muscle when they like get on records with like somebody from Wu Tang, and I don't think this song was necessary.
yeah, not at all. And I'm not gonna lie, both RZA songs didn't do it for me. I'm
What's the
I'm
other
I'm
original?
sorry. Tanasia and Highly Favored.
Oh no, I like Highly Favored. I like the second verse from Highly Favored. The second verse from Highly Favored was like one of the highlights of the album for me.
But the rest of the song, the beat wasn't that like there. I don't know. I heard the sample flipped better before.
Definitely. I think somebody else just flipped this sample earlier this year
I
too.
was gonna say I think I just heard that sample being flipped like recent too.
Yeah.
But like I've heard that sample be flipped way better, and I
Man,
don't know. I just felt like he missed the mark on both of those.
go
The
back and
second
listen
verse
to it. Go
was
back and listen
decent.
to, go back and listen to that second verse of Highly Favored.
I'll I'll listen to it, but if we're talking about just one verse, the second verse out of what, two verses and a hook, uh, it's like 1 for 3 for me.
That shit,
33%.
that was hard.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I didn't like Tenacia at all.
I
Like
didn't
that.
like
That was just
Denasia. I didn't like Royalty. Um, I didn't like Who Are You? The Eric Hudson joint with David. Is it Rainier or Rainier?
Rainier.
Yeah.
Rainier.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling that one.
I wrote. Yeah, it made no difference if this stayed lost or was found. Honestly, on that one.
Like I get where he was trying to go with the royalty record, with the like don't wind up dead, young queen, cross your legs, like
Yeah.
all of that. Like I get it, but that one just wasn't. It didn't connect for me at all.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't know if all these songs deserve to be found, but I mean, like if this is Nas just trying to put out a joint to get out of his deal or something, you know, out at an album cut somewhere, then I could understand why putting out this project, because it definitely wasn't cohesive or anything like that. It was just like all these throwaway tracks thrown together.
But yeah, that's what the concept of the lost tapes is, you know, the records that didn't make the album is, you know, and it's kind of like a look back at, you know, what could have been in a sense.
Yeah, yeah. I guess he made the right choice in keeping a lot of these off of the projects they were probably supposed to go on.
What'd you think about Queen's Wolf, the DJ Toomp record?
Uh,
I think that was number
it
12.
didn't do. Yeah, number 12. It didn't do much for me. The
No.
hook was very trash. That's what I did say. The rapping was good. The hook was trash though. Like I don't know, but then I started thinking about all Nas, like when Nas
Is
does
not
make
really
hooks
a
and
hook guy.
everything, and so I'm like, he's never really just had the most outstanding hooks. His rapping is always up to par,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I didn't. Queen's Wolf wasn't necessarily one of my favorites. I really liked the R of it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really like that. Like he was dropping gems. Hold on, I even got a bar he said in here. He said they probably want to wait till I'm deceased to honor me, so my product could be a big commodity. I was like, oh, he dropping some shit. I was like, that was hard. That was hard.
He definitely has some dope bars on
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these records, the rapping is really, really good.
yeah,
But
it's
as
nice.
far
The
as
rapping is always gonna be really good. I could say that about the Jahara rap shit, but like
that's why I was saying
doesn't
that
make a
he
good
can
song.
find his pocket on pretty much anything. And like the fact that he was able to find his pocket on a record like that, and he still said a lot of fly shit on that song. Like, don't get
Yeah.
it fucked up. Like he said some fly shit, but the beat just was not him. It wasn't there. It didn't do it for me, you know. On a couple of these records too. Like, yeah, like War Against
Yeah.
Love was okay. I like when that was the one where he was talking about you know, like all the attacks and shit, like, you know, different shit going on in the world in different countries and all of that shit. Like,
I like the production on that song a lot.
yeah,
A lot. The song was cool.
yeah.
The song was cool. Yeah, it's yeah, this tape was giving me the overall, at least like the first 10, the first 9 was like the production, either the production was on and I didn't care for necessarily like the delivery or the tone of the record, or it was vice versa.
I
I
feel you.
liked the tone and I didn't like the production.
The
So
last song,
only a couple of these songs. Oh my god.
the
The
last
last song,
Beautiful Life.
Beautiful Life.
Yeah,
No idea. Yes. Yes, that's the best song on this album. That is the best song on this album. Timeout. No ID bodied the production. Bodied it before Nas even rapped. Like the first like 35 seconds of the track was already a hit. And then he started rapping and kept it up. I was like, okay, this is it.
No Idea is crazy.
Yeah, like you should have let off with this.
I don't,
Maybe it would have.
I don't know
Maybe it
about
would have changed
getting
the
off,
game.
but that was a dope record, man. Like he touched on a lot of shit, and especially like when
Queen.
he talking about Khalees.
Yes,
And
yes,
all the
that's why I
shit
liked
about,
it.
like her writing a book and like him
Mm-hmm.
that they had peace and they were able to kind of work things out. And you know, and just man, like yo, my baby mama wrote a book about me. You feel me? Like Barnes and Nobles, like right now, she telling all of our
All the
shit.
secrets.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like she ain't even like allowing us to have a chance to come to some kind of middle ground or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But there's two sides to every story. So
exactly.
I haven't read the Khalees book, so I don't know exactly, like what she was saying. Was there something about like physical abuse or something like that going on with that relationship?
I think it was something that in that realm that came out when they were fighting for custody and child support and all that.
Yeah, I mean, that's none of my business. So when judging the music, that's neither here nor there. But for him to be able to tell his side of the story, and for this to be like a really really dope record, this was probably the best record on the album.
Oh, it definitely was the best record on the album. Like from like a production standpoint and from like his lyrics and everything tied together.
It was
Like,
topical. It was personal. It was just yeah, it hit on all cylinders for me.
yeah, definitely. I like Queensbridge Politics too. I think
Yeah,
we already talked on that,
that's the one
but I
that we
like
were
that
talking
one.
about. That was kind of like the tribute to Prodigy, and that one also he
Yes,
was talking
yes,
about like where Prodigy's book, how he was mentioning that there was friction with him and Nas, and like with them both being from Queens. It's like, yo, like we should be, what I'm saying, we should be bigger than this.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the last three tracks definitely were good. And see, like the first three tracks of the album were I mean, No Bad Energy wasn't bad. I just don't think it was a good track to start off from with. But then again, like I said, I don't know how cohesive this album was supposed to sound. And if he just didn't look through a folder, grab a bunch of tracks, and then just slide them over and was like, boom, this is I don't need no track out. I don't need to worry about how songs flow in and out together. These are
Sequencing,
all,
yeah.
yeah. Because I was like, it just sounds thrown together. But this tape was alright. This
Yeah.
tape was alright.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
You're generous. I give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it.
And I only give it a 6 because, like, one, I've heard Nas do a lot better.
Yeah,
Nas did better on the Ye CD to me, the Nasir CD, than
with the
this.
rapping.
You said with the rapping?
Yeah, you saying like with his rapping he did better or what?
Maybe just because I keep thinking of this as an album and like the Nasir album, like it just sounded like a more cohesive project than
I'm looking at this
this.
more like a compilation project,
Let me see. How many tracks are on this?
or like a playlist. You know what I'm saying?
16?
16 records on here. This is to me like a compilation
1,
or a playlist
2, 3,
or like a
4,
greatest hit
5, 6.
unreleased.
6 out of 10. I mean 6 out of 16.
Mhm.
That's 6 out of 16 is what I think is at least those 6 are like the best on the album. Not even the fact that I would go back and listen to them, throw them in a playlist or anything, but there were 6 tracks out of 16 that I was like, okay, I'm vibing with for this album. I'd probably literally only go back to like 2, maybe 3. So if we're talking about replay value, 3 out of 16, I don't think that's that good.
I got 8 out of 16.
8 out of 16? All right. See about 50% from the field.
Yeah, I got 8 out of 16.
Now, out of those 8,
Mhm.
would you go back and listen to them?
Out of
How
those
many of those 8 would you go back and listen to?
Out of those 8, I have The Art of It, a highly
Mhm.
favored, Queen's Wolf. I liked It Never Ends. I liked You Mean the World to Me, Queensbridge Politics. Really like the last. Oh, and Lost Freestyle. Yeah,
And you would go back and listen to these.
I would go back and definitely listen to Lost Freestyle. I would definitely go back and listen to Queensbridge Politics, Beautiful Life, uh, Queen's Wolf, and I would go back and listen to The Art of It.
So you would listen to 5. Go back and listen to
That was,
5.
I think that was 6.
That was 6. I
That was
must have
about
missed one.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Stop trying to add in that last one.
No, yeah, that was Beautiful Life, Queensbridge
Uh-huh.
Politics, You Mean the World to Me, It Never Ends, The Art of It, and Lost Freestyle.
Oh, okay. So you'll go back and listen to 6. All
That'll
right.
be yeah,
That's not that bad. I mean, like I said, mine I liked 6 of them,
yeah.
and I'd probably only go back to 3. And when I say go back, I mean like really listen to it
Really,
over and over and
yeah.
put it in rotation somewhere. And there's just not that much rotation on here for me. Like there might not supposed to be. The name of the album or the name of this project is called Lost Tapes, so it's a whole bunch of not made the album cuts.
Just things that he had in the vault.
Yeah, some things should have stayed in the vault.
Some things could have stayed on the cutting room floor, definitely. Like the Swiss Beach joint, adult film. Who are you?
I'm gonna
Today,
have to. I'm gonna have to argue the adult film one because I like
what do you
that.
like about that song?
I don't know. I gotta re-listen to it again. I liked it
Well,
probably because
explain what you like about the
I
song.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you the truth. Probably because the first half of the album was very underwhelming, and so when I got to that, I was like,
I feel like that's kind of where
okay. You said that's where it went left to you?
I'm saying that's where you feel like it kind of picked up for you.
A little bit. A little bit. I liked, like I said, I liked Lost Freestyles. That was the first one I liked, and that's track 4. So I had to go through 3 tracks to find something I liked. And then Tanasia and Royalty and Who Are You? It was cool. And then adult film came and I was like, okay, this is cool too. So I felt like maybe it's the fact that I was going through some stuff that I didn't care for as much, and then found something that I was like, okay, I'm rocking with that. Maybe it gave it a couple extra points.
I don't know. Maybe
But definitely the last couple of tracks on the album
maybe
was
I
all
missed
fire.
it when I said it was the middle of the album. Maybe like I guess like the first third or the second third of the album. I guess like because it's 3, the Ja Rule of rap, Tanasia,
You
Royalty,
said the Ja Rule of rap.
the am I saying that right? The Jeru,
I don't know, but it just sounded like you said the Ja Rule of rap. I was about to say that's exactly what it sounded like.
That's hella funny. But yeah, but the Jeru of rap, Tanasia, Royalty, Who Are You, adult film just didn't do it for me. War
Yeah.
Against Love, I feel like is where it kind of picked up for me. I was like, okay, that song is okay. And then the art of it came, and I really fucked with that. Highly favored, I thought was cool. And then I really liked the second verse of that. Like right now, like I've listened to it 3 times, and right now, like that's probably like my favorite verse of the album. There were like some
Hmm.
other like better verses on the album, like on
Hmm.
Beautiful Life. I feel like he has some better verses, but I really like the second verse. I highly favorite.
Yeah, I think my favorite of him rapping on this album was Queensbridge Politics. He got into his Nas like super lyrical snapping bag. I really like that rapping on that.
And
I was like, oh,
I feel like with Who Are You, he was trying to get in his Nas super like storytelling mode, like record where it was like, this is impactful, this is
yeah,
important to the culture, and then I'm like, this just doesn't do it for me.
yeah. Some things are better left unsaid, as they say, and he could have left a lot of things unsaid on this album. But I mean, it was a decent effort. It was very much anticipated. I don't think it's gonna be that that highly received.
Well, he also mentioned at a Mass Appeal event, I think this was Thursday night, that with the creation of doing this record, he also has enough records for a Lost Tapes 3 and 4.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. How do you feel about that?
Well, it depends because he said, in addition to that, that um, it's not going to be like another 15 or another 17 years before he puts out another Lost Tapes. And I know that he was also supposed to be working on some shit with Swiss Beats. So I don't know like what's the timeline on like what's going on with that, because after like when Nasir dropped, he was like, I was working on a whole nother project with Swiss and like with No ID and RZA and shit like that. So I don't know if he was talking about he was at that time putting together the Lost Tapes or if he was talking about a whole nother project. Because if he was talking about a whole nother project, that's a new project with No ID, with Swiss, and like with some RZA joints, then I'm fucking with that.
I'm here for the No ID joints.
Definitely. I'm here for the Swiss joints too. I'm even here for the Swiss joints. But I just really feel like adult film didn't connect for me, man.
I feel that.
That wasn't it.
I
But
yeah, definitely from
I'm
10 from
I'm
10
I'm here for the
to
Swiss.
16 was good. From 10 to 16.
I will agree with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah, the first 9
It was a little shaky, huh?
it was a lot shaky, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nasir, we still love you, man. We
Straight
still
up.
love you,
Yeah,
man.
Nas, we fuck with you, dog. Again, I say a 7 out of 10. Ray get
I said 6.
Young Goldmine gives it a 6 out of 10.
6. I'm being nice with the 6. I'm being very I am taking into consideration it's not a album. It's not a nice body of work that's put together, thought about. It is over the span of 15 years. That's why I'm giving him that extra like point or so.
And that's why I
If
said
I was to
I'm looking at it more like a playlist or a compilation of records rather than an album or even a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this is just a playlist of just records that he just had in the stash, and it's like, okay, how can I put some of these out to just give some of the, some of the diehards, some of my core fan base, just some records that they would fuck with. And I really think that this is what this is for. This is for his core fan base that's gonna fuck with Nas regardless.
why would you lead off with the Jahir of rap? Jeru of rap, whatever.
I don't know.
Why?
I
Why in the world would he ever lead off with that?
Yeah, he's got to explain that.
Yeah,
That's the one question that I would have for him. Why would you lead off with that record?
could have let off with a lot other shit. Like
He could have let off with the art of it. He could have even let off with the art free or with the Lost Freestyle.
Yeah, that would have been dope. That would have been real fresh to lead off with, actually, because you're calling it a freestyle, and
The
it was a
Lost
pretty.
Tapes.
Yeah, exactly.
He could have let off
So
with the Lost Freestyle for the Lost Tapes too. So, but other than
I
that,
want to know what Pharrell that was on Vernon Family. Like what stage of Pharrell? It definitely wasn't Neptune's, so it had to be after that era. But then it didn't sound like his early or his middle early 2000s bag either. So it sounded like maybe it was like in the 2010s, 2012s, but it doesn't sound like Happy or anything that he's made since then either. So I don't know. I gotta look into that and see when that track was originally supposed to come out on. And I want to know what some of these songs were supposed to be on. What album, because that'll tell a lot. Like Beautiful Life, that had to be on
like Life is Good or something.
Life is Good. Yeah.
Time. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Overall, I would say as far as a record that is just some shit that he had in the stash or just some throwaway joints, these are some slightly above average. I would no, not even slightly above average. I would say these are above average records for your everyday rapper. You feel me? If we're talking about just throwaway songs.
Yeah. 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 My final thoughts would be like, if you're a Nas fan, it's cool to have some Nas music. Just listen to some different shit. If you're not too much of a Nas fan or just trying to get into Nas, don't use this album as your introduction to Nas.
No.
Not at all.
If you're a Nas fan that was disappointed in the Kanye album, if you know what I'm saying, because there were some really die-hard Nas fans that didn't really rock with the Kanye record, then I think that this would be something that would at least hold them over until the actual next Nas album.
Yeah. Yeah. I could say that. I could say that.
So,
I could definitely say that.
any final words other than that with the Nas?
I believe that was it on my Mr. Queen's Bridge breakdown.
Think that kind of does it for the Nas review. It's a beautiful life, man. Again, I think we agreed that was our both of our favorite records on the album. We thought that was the really like where he set the
Definitely.
bar as far as the high standing point of the record, and the Jeru of Rap was probably the lowest point of the record. But
Guaranteed that was the lowest.
But overall, slightly above average to above average. We give it a 6 and a 7 out of 10. Hey, another record from Nas. Congratulations to him. I'm pretty sure that, having some records out and having some, plus he's going on tour with Mary J. Blige at the same time. So it's good to have some new music, some new old music out, I guess you could say.
Now that you say that, it's interesting he didn't have that single with him and Mary J on this.
Maybe it's going to be on a Mary J. Blige album.
Could be, but that's just interesting to me. Like, everybody puts their little Lucy's as singles on like their project that they're putting out just for the numbers wise, because I don't think this album's gonna do numbers at all. I mean, it might not supposed to be. I mean, it might not like that might not be the intentions for the album to do numbers, but when you're in the business aspect, you'd want to do some type of numbers regardless.
Man, Nas ain't worried about numbers for this dog. He got what's the
Not if you put out Jeru a rap, huh?
He got the doorbell deal or whatever with Amazon when they bought that. Like he got investments popping off. He ain't really worried about this like that. He just wanted to get some. I just feel like he wanted to put some music out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's
probably right
about that. That's what I can say about that. Other than that, we thank y'all for joining us, for tapping in with the Two Black Sheep Nas Lost Tapes 2 album review.
Lost Tapes 2, Two Black Sheeps, episode 4. All of that.
All of that.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Got a couple other albums to review next week. There's a few releases coming out.
Next week we should do Chance for sure.
I was thinking that we should do Chance, and we can damn near do maybe what's his name too? Drops. The damn, I was about to say Young Boy. Light Skin Corday.
Oh, Corday's dropping. Yeah, Corday's dropping next week too. Yeah,
Corday's dropping next week too.
Okay, so
and I'm really want to do Corday's album as well, since it's highly anticipated.
Okay, so join us next week. We will do Chance. What's the name of his album? The Big Day.
The Big Day.
And YBN Corday's album. I can't remember the name of. I think it's like The Lost Boy or something.
The Lost Boy.
Something like to that effect. But I can't confirm for sure. You know for sure
Yeah.
whether or not that's what it's
I
called?
believe it's the Lost Boy. Here, I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, so next
Uh,
week we will be reviewing Chance, The Big Day. We will review YB and Corday's album right here, youtube.com/2blacksheep. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us.
yes, the
Two Black
Lost
Sheep.
Boy.
Okay, bam. So there you go. YB and Corday, The Lost Boy, and Chance the Rapper review coming next week. All social media at Two Black Sheep. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Boom,
all of that.
boom, boom.
All of
All
it.
of it.
Yeah.
All spelled the same. Just go, hit follow, hit subscribe, hit like, do all the above.
Share, rate, find us on your favorite podcast platform as well. If you're listening
Yes.
to the audio version of this, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much for tapping in. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us an iTunes review or a rating if you would like. We would appreciate that. It does really, really, really good wonders for the show, whether you believe it or not. It's really a good
Yeah.
thing for the show to have, So we appreciate if you would leave us a review or a
Any
5-star
feedback helps.
rating, or exactly, definitely. If you're an artist and you've got any music that you want to throw to us, submit it by tweeting us your album or your song links to at 2blacksheep. You can also email to 2blacksheep@gmail.com. We do
Yep.
weekly playlists every Monday called Heard It First. They're available on Apple, Spotify, and Tidal. So you
Boom.
can go ahead and look forward to those every week. And of course, we're here pretty much every week as well, discussing all the newest and the latest in hip hop, R&B, pop culture, and of course, album reviews. So make sure you
Yes,
follow
sir.
and subscribe.
Yes, sir. And
Any final words before we go ahead and exit stage left, Mr. Goldman?
I'm actually exiting stage right. But just thank y'all for tapping in with us any way y'all have been, whether it's via these lives, via our podcast, or just following us and helping us grow. We appreciate all of y'all. And we'll
Okay.
see y'all next week.
2 Black Sheep. It's the hustle.
The hustle.
Peace.